We're swinging back around and taking a look at a couple of Grey Knights. I've done a video of Crow on the far left and Neodan on the far right. Today, it's all about Hammer and Halberd. Besides the Victrix Honor Guard, the Grey Knights were the fastest selling Warhammer figures of last year and demanded an extortionate price in the aftermarket. But with a soft reissue imminent, is it worth having at least one of these in your collection?
Shut up and sit down.
Hey you Skellywags, we've not got just one, but two Grey Knights we're looking at today, doubling up on the Grey Knights with Terminator Caddon Vibova and Terminator Jaric Thule. If you want to check out the full unboxing of one of these, check out the Neodan video after this, link in the description. Right now, let's take a look at what's inside. So after watching Awesome Action Toys' video of the Grey Knights and realizing that his articulation was less hindered, I decided to grab Caddon Vibova on the left, the hammer guy. But having Terminator Neodan in hand and from the recommendation of Red in the community, I decided to track down Jaric Thule with his halberd. Both you see here looking glorious. So besides what you can see right now, they both come with a left fist. Grey Knight fist there, bigger than your average fist. Double pointy finger, which seems to be the way everyone in 40k points towards something. And the now obligatory dynamic splayed out left hand, so you can also give your brothers a high five after disposing of heretics. So we'll take a look at both in more detail, have a look at their similarities, and bring in Neodan a bit later on. We'll start with Caddon Vibova with his hammer of steel. Just look at that beautiful mug. So this book here is probably my favourite of the three of them. That capital letter, I forgot the name of it in the graphic design, is indented. It's really nice. It's here, purity seal as well. Look at that angular face. Really like that design. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do. There, purity seals in that book as well. So all these little details that make these figures look so awesome. There's so much work put into them. This hammer here, which is pretty much the same on the other side, just the steel on the other bit. Very nice. An appropriately sized hammer for the Grey Knights. Fits nicely in this hand, unlike the normal 2.0. All these little bits. Same for this on all of them. These wires there. Love this. That book with a skull on it. All the writing underneath as well. Steel. More plain at the back. That tinge of blue, which I love. Looking so cool. Now on to Jaric Thule. So there's his little book thing there with Probis. Let me just check the back here. Yep, he's got a cover there. Nice attention to detail on that book. And Thule's is different. Interesting. See a little skull on the top. Double-headed on both sides. Yeah, same for Vibova. Continuing on, so letters there, written in Old English, which is a scribble. This helmet similar, but added the details. His body is more similar to Neodan, but is more decorated. But very, we'll check the similarities. That's different. Check the similarities with Neodan in a bit. This is halberd, which is typically an axe. Look at these lovely purity seals on there. But yeah, this is a sword, but I love this weapon. Looks really great. A bit there's different. Ooh, look at that book. Probus there. Death. And the same on the back. So the lettering on the pauldrons underneath there are the same. So there are two main base bucks, differing with the upper torso and lower legs, as you can see with these two. On Vibova here, you've got Grey Knight up there, and here, all the areas different there. Very nice work from Joytoy. Right, let's do some articulation. So with this pauldron, no servo skull there to hinder articulation and make it floppy. This thing here you can move if you want, but not really supposed to. Head can move about a little bit, kind of stuck, but that's probably just due to the double barbell. You can fix it and you can move around like you need. And unlike Neodan's helmet, you can move forward a bit more due to the shape of that helmet, which I really like actually. That little indentation looks a bit too deep. So arm moves up about there. It's a bit gummy with these Terminators. The arm should be about down there, so you can see the full range. I'll go up like that. See, quite gummy. It's all the way round. Gotta watch the stuff. Bicep twist. Double bend at the elbow, just slightly hindered by these pipes. So make sure you're aware of that and be careful not to push it too far. But it works. Hand on the double barbell. This thing's in the way. Kind of have to have it diagonal like that if you want him to hold the other part of his weapon. There's this butterfly thing, which is more like a, yeah, not really a butterfly, but goes forwards. Looks like he's pleasing himself there. Up here is a bit more wobbly, like Neodan, but has a good range for a bulky figure. Nice twist there. There is the lower bit here as well that can move with the waist. All these bits move about. You can remove them if you want. Same with this one. These bits here, nice and soft as well. Move out of the way. Jean-Claude! Oh, not bad actually. That's what's under the loincloth. Leg can go up a bit there. A bit hindered with this. Same with Neodan. And the loincloth is slightly in the way. Back there. And double bend at the knee. Which is great for these bulky guys. Look at that. Foot goes up about there. And then down. Got left and right. Pivot. And the unnecessary toe. So altogether, same as Neodan really. But not as bad because it doesn't have that servo skull like flopping away. So it'll be a lot easier to pose about. Can have him dual wield, faking it like that, but hide the hand, I suppose, if you like. Or you can, you know, do it properly if you want. You can also just have him shooting at heretics and wielding his spear, halberd, or whatever on this side like that. So I won't do full articulation with Vibova. Dusty there. We'll just go through the main differences. The head is similar. Same with the arms. It's the body here that's different. It's actually more sturdy. Look, less floppy, look. Be careful with this though, with that sword and how it might poke against that. But yeah, definitely more sturdy. And this leg can go up better because there's no loincloth in the way. So altogether, he'll be better. Oh, actually, I forgot about the thigh twist they've got as well. So there is that too. Look at that. So in terms of being able to pose, he's probably going to be one of the best for posing, because there's a lot less in the way, and he's sturdier in the upper body as well, so he won't flop about as much, although the flopping about isn't too bad. He's just a sturdier action figure. So you can do the same with him. You can put that in that hand, but it's a bit difficult. You've got to angle it, etc. Or you can just fake it like this. It's kind of... Let's just flatten this out there. He's wielding his hammer down like that. So you can pop it in there if you want, but just do that and voila. He's hammering down at heretics in the name of the real MC Hammer, the Emperor. It's like magic, but he's not really dual wielding, or he's not really double holding the hammer. Really like that angular helmet these guys have both got. I'm determined to get them to balance. There. So I think these two really complement each other very well. And the differences between all the Grey Knight Terminators makes for a more richer experience. So although they look very similar, the small design differences actually makes them different to handle. Caddon, for instance, has got that floppy pauldron. With Vibova here, he's actually great as an action figure, so I would recommend, if you're more into action figures, he'd be great, as he's quite sturdy, there's not much in the way that's hindering his articulation. Be great for that. If you're choosing, if you can get Vibova, my experience, I think he'd be good if you're mainly sort of wanting an articulated action figure with this Terminator Grey Knight design. It's perfect for that. With Jaric Thule, he is, for me, probably the best looking of the bunch. His leg articulation is slightly hindered due to the loincloth, and his upper body's a bit more wobbly, but he's the most decorated and looks awesome. And that weapon, of course, as well. Both of these two, I think, have got the best weapons out of the four of them. The halberd, hammer and halberd, both here. So let's bring on the other two Grey Knights I've got and have a little family photo. So here's a family photo of my Grey Knights all together, looking awesome. Probably the best looking 40k figures at the moment, in my opinion. So we'll take a quick look at They've got similarities with the upper body. The helmet is different for both. Thule's purity seals cover up a lot of the similarities. Neodam's floppy on the top bit there, like Thule. Down here, all the same really. Look, that down there. The lower half is the exact same. So this right leg, even the writing in the little books are the same. See there, and there. Left leg same, slightly different there. Neodam's got faith on that right elbow. He's also got this book. Most places are selling all the Grey Knights for a lot more than recommended retail, but there is a soft reissue which you can currently pre-order from Cool Toys Club or Locker Toys, but it's only Jaric Fuel here, Spear Guy. So if you want, go and grab him. There's going to be links in the description here so you can support the channel and grab one yourself. And you'll also be able to grab this fella, Caddon Crow. Now surprisingly, he was one of my favourite figures of last year, even though he had problems out of the box being very loose, but his design and just how he looks made me like him so much that when I fixed those issues, I was so happy with him. They became one of my favourite figures of last year. But I wouldn't recommend him if you're not willing to deal with those issues, as they will be annoying, and obviously he's still quite expensive, even though you can get him for retail at the moment by clicking the link in the description for Locker Toys or Cool Toys Club. Get Crow or Jaric Fuel or both before prices skyrocket yet again. So if you can't tell already, these are some of my favourite figures from last year. Between Crow and Tor Garadon, they're probably the best Warhammer 40k figures. I go back and forth between the two. My best of 22 video does have Tor ahead though. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content, subscribe. And I'll skell you later.